Hey everybody, so I figured what I'd finally do is give you guys a late game guide here, just for those of you who have beat Doom 100 and you're not sure where to start, or at least, you know, what to prioritize once you actually get to the second area here. Say you hit Continent 2, you're on Coastal Plain 1, you just reached here, you've got this new little button down in the bottom right for Polis. That's going to be where you spend most of your time over here. First thing you want to do once you hit second continent is pull up Polis, and you're going to hit Sky Smelter, and then you're going to go to Craft, and you're going to put in that level 100 gear. It's got to be level 100 in order for it to show up here. You'll hit Select, and as you can see, it takes one of these little fangs to actually get it to switch over. Now at the top you see Roaring Set, Mystical Set, and Protection Set. And honestly, most people go for Roaring Set. That's going to maximize your damage. Once you get that, actually, let me go ahead and walk you through that. So you're going to need that little horn. So you'll go to Shop. You'll see Beast Fang here. And that costs 500 of the runestones. Obviously, that can get really expensive really quickly, because the higher rank your item is, the more of these that you're going to need. As you can see here, this is where I'll put in my Scythe, just to level it up. And as you can see, it takes ether and a decent amount of gold. So I'm already out of ether, and that's why I haven't had a whole bunch of videos lately, is because ether, it definitely is a bit of a grind. There's just not a lot of great sources of ether, not to the extent that there is gold, at least. Now you could probably use blue potions to increase how much ether you're getting. You can also use Fortress to increase the ether tower. I've seen different guides suggest different levels of ether tower. I focused on maximizing gold tower first, because gold at the time had many more uses, and I had plenty of ether early on. You'll want to upgrade this building to level 7 or 8. As you can see here, I've got my Scythe to level 7, so I will be able to get it to 7 or 8 diamonds, that is. I'll be able to get it to 8 with this building, but that's still a ways away. I'm at plus 80, and I still got 20 more to go, and it's just costing a lot of ether. So I wouldn't worry about upgrading this past 7 or 8, because once you get to 7 or 8, you should be able to easily do rebirths and get plenty of gems from that. If you're trying to stock up on gems, you should be able to do well in the slime, the King Slime boss fight. You should be able to dish out really good damage there. But next up is going to be the archives. I've used this just to get rid of the Forge Master, Gem Master, and Boss Mirror image, because I don't need to re-gem anything. I don't need to upgrade anything as far as level goes. Everything's maxed out as much as I can get it. Really, all that's important is to continue doing the Sky Smelting. Now, I got rid of the Boss Mirror image because all it does is it gives you a small amount of gems or diamonds, however you prefer to refer to them as, and those you get in large quantities just from combining gems up to certain levels. Now, furthermore, the ones that I leveled up over here, you'll see bartering, I added 1 level to. It's not really necessary. I wouldn't worry too much about bartering right off the bat. Ether Rune is a good one to add to, but Lost Realm is going to be the main one you're going to try to focus on. Yes, so Lost Realm, you'll be getting more of these runestones, and Lost Realm is your only source of getting runestones outside of events. So if you need to farm runestones, it's going to be Lost Realm, and you're going to be farming Lost Realm over and over again. So you're going to want to upgrade this as much as possible. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I have the gold to do so, and now requirement level 7 archives. So I don't actually have a way to level that up any further than it currently is, but I get 100 runestones per time that I clear this. So that's a good farming method at this point. That's definitely viable. Next up is Ancient Temple. So you want to upgrade these as much as possible, and this is where most of your gems will go, is upgrading things, especially this particular area. Now, a lot of people, they're in a rush to push all the way to the bottom and get that AoE damage that you get from this. Honestly, it's just 10% to the other things. The only time that it's really helpful is if you're in the map and you've got the 2 minions, 2 creeps in the back healing the boss, you can get rid of them fairly easily by using this AoE damage, because they're very squishy creeps. So that's the only benefit, is it'll help you with boss fights. The AoE is good for boss fights, but if you're not really worried about pushing just yet and you'd like to get your weapon better and everything like that first, I wouldn't worry too much about Ancient Temple, other than maybe leveling up these ones that give you base damage, you know, extra damage here, there, extra stats, things like that. I wouldn't worry too much about pushing all the way to this final one, since it costs 50,000 ether. You may just focus on increasing your scythe for a while, which is what I did. I focused on just increasing my scythe for a while, and then when I felt like I was ready, then I saved up enough to push this all the way to building level 10 to get that AoE. If you do get the one-shot ability up at the top, the one-shot event, then it will apply to all of them, so you will actually blaze through them a lot faster if you use that one-shot event. Fortress, I recommend pushing the gold tower as far as you can, and then outside of that, that's pretty much the gist of Continent 2. Not a whole lot of new things that are added outside of making sure that you want to get your gear green. You want it to all be Cerberus roaring gear. When you feel like your scythe starts slowing down a bit, you can do what I did and start leveling up this helmet, because that adds base HP, and so you can actually increase your health pool by quite a bit. If you look up in the top there, I've got 90 million HP, which isn't enough to keep from getting one shot in late Doom, like Doom 70 or 80, something like that. I'm still getting one shot, so it probably is over 100 million that you need. But you know, to even things out and not just focus on damage, you can always switch to the helmet here and there. I just recommend getting the scythe to at least 4 stars or 4 diamonds, whatever you want to call it, before you switch to focusing on HP. If you have any other specific questions, feel free to let me know and I'll answer them down in the comments, or make other videos as necessary to kind of explain certain things. But this is kind of the basic overview of the end game here, or late game. And I hope that it was of some service to you guys. Thank you guys for being here, and I hope you have a good one. See you in the next video.